Hi everybody, welcome to Tangle Break. Today we're going to do this tile using the Tangles ratoon and orbs. We're going to be using the 8 basic steps of the Zentangle method. Step number 1 is gratitude and appreciation. I'm thankful for the time that we're able to take a break from our day to relax and draw. And the supplies that we're going to use are a gold metallic jelly roll pen, a black Micron 01 pen, a Zentangle pencil, a Tortillon, and a 3.5-inch white tile. And this tile was inspired by Project Pack 6 from Zentangle headquarters. So let's get started. Grab your tile and your pen, your Micron 01 pen, and we're going to go straight to the tangle of ratoon. So draw an orb in the middle. And then we're going to draw these seed-like shapes connected to it. I'm doing it at like 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock on a clock, and then over here at like 2 and then 4, if that helps. You decide where to put it, and then over here would be at 10, and down here would be like at 8. Okay. Then the next step I'm going to do is make some seed-like shapes in between these out here toward the end of the tile. So between those two shapes, those two seeds, I did one. Between these two seeds, I'm going to do a seed. Between these two, I'm going to do one. Between these two, between these two, and between these two. So it does have a pattern to it. Okay, now I'm going to start connecting everything, and this is the fun part. So I'm going to start at the orb and go around the seed and connect it to the point of that one. So I'm going to go to the next one. Aura around, and then connect to the seed at the tip. Do the same thing on this one. Aura, go connect to that seed tip. Aura, connect to the seed tip. Makes a pretty cool design here. Aura, and connect to the seed tip. See, and it doesn't matter that it wasn't perfectly lined up. It's going to make a really cool design. Aura, go to the seed tip. Okay, now we're going to keep on going. So this time, we're going to go from this tip, going around the seed that's out here, come back around and in, and that's it. So go from the tip of the seed on this one, aura around, and come back in. Pretty cool. And we'll do this all the way around. So go from the tip of the seed all the way around and back in. Okay. Tip of the seed around and back in. Okay, tip of the seed around and back in. And last one. The tip of the seed around and back in. Okay, the next part is we're going to connect that line to the seed. Okay, so that line to the where you pictured the top of the seed underneath, and then we're going to aura going around and down to the orb. And that's it. That's what we're going to do all the way around. So we're going to connect the line underneath to the tip of the seed, where it would be underneath, and then aura, and then go all the way to the orb. And it makes such a cool design. It's just one step at a time. So from the underneath line to the tip, and then aura. Okay. Turn your tile, the line to the tip, and then aura. All the way to the orb. Okay, turn your tile, the line to the tip, underneath the lines we already did, and then aura. And one more. We can do it. Just turn your tile from the line to the tip of the seed, and then aura, either direction, all the way back. And you have it. There you go. That's ratoon. All right, I'm going to put it in this direction. Now we're going to fill in these spaces. Let's put it here. Now I'm going to fill in these spaces around. Oh, still deciding. Okay, now I'm just going to put orbs in here and squish them in. The one in the center, and then the other ones are going to be behind it. And then I ink in the area around it. So I'm just going to go to each of these little sections and put in the orbs. Okay, let's go to the center and aura inside of the orb that we started with. Okay, next we're going to go into all of these spaces and fill them in. So I'm going to start here and go to the point and just sort of making like a little pea pod area. And then I'm going to fill in the center with an orb, and then fill in orbs underneath that one, and ink in the sides. And then fill in the orb on this side as if it's underneath. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and turn, and I'm going to do the same thing here. So from the point down, and then fill in with orbs, a big one in the middle, and then other orbs filling in the space all the way to the end on both sides, and then inking them in. Okay, turn my tile, finish inking it in, and do the same thing from the point down, and then do my orbs, squishing them in and inking them in. Okay, turn my tile, do it again from the point down to the orb, and then fill in with these littler orbs. Okay, turn my tile. We've got 2 more of these to do. From the point down, fill in the orbs. Okay, and the last one. From the point down, and then fill in the orbs. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is put a little aura on each side of these little pea pods that we just made. That's what I think they look like, little pea pods. So just a little aura on each side. And you just stop where it hits the other line. Auras are so relaxing. You're just following the line you already drew. Okay, so next we're going to fill in the space beside the pea pod. So those little triangle shapes. I'm going to go from the point away from the pea pod and draw toward the pea pod and just put like a little line with a little triangle at the bottom just to give it a little weight. So a line toward the pea pod and then a little triangle at the very tip of it. So from the corner away from the pea pod to your pea pod, that's the best way I can describe it. And then you make a little triangle weight at the part closest to the pea pod. And that's it. Just gives it an interesting design. So from the corner and then drawing it and then giving it a little tiny little triangle shape at the end to give it some weight. So from the corner away from you, bring it to you, and a tiny little triangle at the end. That's it. But it gives such a cool little design. And we're just going to do this all the way around. It's pretty easy. Go from the corner, drawing towards you, bringing it towards you, and then a little triangle. And I'm doing it 3 times. I'm trying to squeeze it in there. And just keep going around. So from the point toward the pea pod, a little triangle, and I'm doing 3 of them. Just squeeze them in to fit. Okay, so that made a cute little design. So now let's go into these last little sections and just put in some more orbs. And just squeeze them in. I'm starting with the largest in the middle and then working my way out to both sides. And then we'll go back and ink it in. The little areas between them right there. There you go. Okay, so now we're going to aura around the entire outside of this tangle ratoon. So just relax and follow the line, and you're just making an aura around it, all the way around. Okay, so next what we're going to do is make it a little bit fancier around the edges. Very simply. So we're going to put in some orbs. So right here in this little crevice, an orb. In the middle here, an orb. So in the middle of each little section where you see the little indent or the little crevice, I'm putting in an orb. And then let's put an orb at the tips of our little pea pods, sea pods, however you want to call it. And it just makes it a little fancier. And it was very simple to do. Okay, so now let's go back and just put an aura around these orbs, just the orbs. So just go around the orb and that's it. Now we're going to go all the way around the same distance that the other orbs are. And this is so easy just to make an aura and an orb, but it makes it so much fancier. Now I'm going to go to the ends and do the same thing. And sort of tuck the line underneath the point of the seed pod that comes out. And that's it. Okay. Very nice. Okay, now it's time to shade, so grab your pencil and let's go ahead in here and do some shading. And I'm going to go on the inside of the ratoon and the little pea pods that we made around the orb that's in the center. So I'm pretty much just putting shadow where it looks like things are intersecting or crossing over and underneath, just to emphasize that more. So around the edges here and how it goes above. So I'm just going to work my way all the way around, and where the line looks like it's on top, I'm putting some shadow or pencil beside it. So those little areas where we did the lines with the triangles on them, they're going to be way in the background, so they'll have shadow and pencil on top of those. See where these lines are on top? I'm going to follow those. The little pea pods, the little peas are going to be in the shadows. That line went above the other one, so I'm going to go around it. I think this is relaxing just to put in the shadow, following the lines around. And that's above the little orbs that we made, and then around the whole tangle of ratoon, so it raises it above the paper. So now grab your Tortillon and let's smoothen the pencil marks. So now grab your gold jelly roll pen, and we're going to go ahead and fill in some of these orbs. And I'm filling in the ones that have the little extra orb coming out the top, and that's the line I'm going down. So that whole line of orbs from the center all the way out to the orb that is on the outside is the line that I'm going to make gold all the way around, and the center also. So go ahead and fill in the center. Okay, so now I'm going to go to each section that has the orbs that go all the way across, all the way to the one that sticks out. So you can just follow along. So the longest line of orbs is what I'm filling in. So it's every other row of orbs. Okay, so now grab your pencil and we're going to put a little smiley face on these little orbs that are left white. A little smiley face or a little half circle here. A little smile. I like to call it the little smile. And it's just going to make it, the little orbs look more rounded. And so then grab your Tortillon and we're going to smooth that, just making the smile a little shadow. And it just helps give it a little bit of life there. I gave that one a whole circle. It just gives it a little life compared to just being flat white. So there you go. Okay, I think we are finished. You can look at it in any direction. All right, so now it's time for step 7, initial and sign. So grab your pen and pick a spot that you want to put your chop or your initials. And then turn it on the back, and this was Tangle Break. And the tangles that we did are ratoon and orbs. And step 8 is appreciate again, and you can look at it in any direction like we did earlier. And I hope you enjoyed our break today, and I'll see you next time on Tangle Break. Bye for now.